In the last video, we put together the definition of what a person struct was. So we told Go that there was going to be a new custom type inside of our application of person. It was going to be a struct that had the ability to record both the first name and the last name of a person. So let's now continue inside of our main function and figure out all the different ways that we can create a new person. So let's first start off by making a new person that we'll call Alex. So maybe we'll give them a first name of Alex and a last name of, I don't know, Anderson, something like that. So we'll first create a variable that we're going to call Alex, and we're going to make sure that we use the := syntax here because we are both declaring, initializing, and assigning a value all in one step. Then to create a value of type person, we'll put down the type name, which is person. We'll put down a set of curly braces, and then we're going to do a first name and last name as strings. So we'll say Alex and then Anderson, like so. So this is one of several different ways of creating a new struct. You'll notice that we did not actually say that, hey, Alex is going to be the first name and Anderson is going to be the last name. So the way that Go interprets this is that we had listed out the first property name as being first name and then the second as last name. So because we put the first name first and then the last name, Go assumes that because we put Alex here first, we want to use Alex as the first name and Anderson as the last name. Now this approach right here of kind of relying upon the order of definition of fields is something that I personally cannot stand with Go. I cannot stand the syntax right here, even though you will see a lot of very official code use this type of approach, where you are relying 100% on the order of your fields for assignment here. And the reason that I think that this is kind of nuts is that, well, what happens if we come along and then accidentally swap the order of these two fields? If we did this, we would then end up with Alex having a last name of Alex and a first name of Anderson. And so I'm just showing you the syntax here, but personally, I really cannot recommend it. Because again, if you ever have to swap the order of your fields, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So let's look at the other way of creating a new struct of type person. So the next way we might do this is to pass in a set of kind of property name, the colon, and then the value we want to assign to it. So the other way of defining or creating a new person is to put in our curly braces. We'll say first name, colon, put a space in, and then the value that we want to assign to it. And then we'll do the same thing for the last name as well. So last name, colon, Anderson. So this is the other way to define a new struct. Now when we do this right here, you'll notice that when I save the file, yeah, I get an error, but it's the very classic error that we see a lot, which is that we declared Alex, but we never used it. So we can just ignore that for a second. So personally, I like this syntax a lot more because it means that we can always change the order of fields here. We can add more in, do whatever we want, and we're always going to know that we are defining this struct with the correct order of fields. Okay, so those are two ways to define a struct. There is a third that we'll look at in just a moment, but for right now, let's figure out exactly how we print out all the information that is contained within this struct. Now I'm going to toggle off the Explorer on the side here so you can see my whole file. Now right underneath our declaration of this Alex, let's add in a print statement to just print out this person and see what they look like when we print them out at the command line. So we'll say fmt print line, and we'll pass in Alex. Okay, so when we save that, we should see the error go away, and we should now be importing the fmt package. So let's now flip over to our command line and run this program and see what Alex looks like when we print them out. So I've already changed into my project directory of structs, and we'll run the file with go run main.go. And when we print it out, it prints out very plainly Alex Anderson. Okay, so I think that we've learned two different ways to declare a struct, and we've also learned that, yep, just like strings, we can very easily print them out at the command line. Let's take a quick break and then come back and take a look at some of the other more complex features around structs. So quick break, and I'll see you in just a minute.